Hello everyone, welcome to the Daisy Regrowth Project. I'm Julie and I'm in my studio. I would like you to do some drawing and designing for our virtual woodland. And I think seedlings to plant in our woodland would be a really good place to start. But first, let's remind ourselves what seedlings look like and how they grow. And I happen to have some seeds here.
Everything that grows in our world comes from a seed of some kind. Even a huge tree has grown from a little tiny seed. These are cucumber seeds. And they have all the information that they need to grow into a cucumber plant. This tiny little seed is so clever because it knows not to grow just yet.
That little seed needs warmth. It needs water and it needs sunlight to start to grow into a plant. That is called germination. And the seed will not germinate until it has all the conditions that it needs to grow. When you plant the seed in the soil and give it a drop of water, and it's nice and warm in there, and it starts to think, "Ooh, I think I can have some food here." It puts out a little root. It splits its case a little bit and puts out a root and starts taking in food from the soil, all its nutrients that it needs to grow. And then the baby plant starts to grow upwards to find the sun. And when it's in the sun, it pops open its seed case and out come the little baby leaves. And this is called a seedling. And then the seedling grows and grows and develops new leaves. And these new leaves start looking like the plant that it's going to become. I've got some seedlings here. I'll show you.
So these are my cucumber seedlings. Here's one just popping out of the earth and splitting from its case. And here it is grown a little bit. You can see the two first leaves are quite round and now it's developing like cucumber leaves. This one's grown even taller because I did start to grow them at different times. And here it is really becoming a cucumber plant. And it's even starting to lose those first leaves. They're looking a little bit yellow, those first leaves, but all of the cucumber leaves are appearing. And this is what it'll look like in this illustration. Later on, it'll start flowering and then growing me some delicious cucumbers. These are a different kind of seedling. These are basil seedlings. As you can see, they are quite a bit different from the cucumber ones. So all seedlings look a tiny bit different, but they all grow in the same way.
Okay, so let's draw our seedlings. You need a piece of paper about this size, and you want it portrait this way around, not this way around, which is landscape. You want it portrait style. Okay, so we're going to put that there. You'll need a pencil, and you might need an eraser if you want, or a ruler for making straight lines if you prefer them to be straight lines. I'm going to use a pen because I want you to be able to see it. So let's draw something to grow our seedling in first. Let's draw the flower pot. Okay, so about halfway down I'm going to draw a straight line from one side to the other. And then I'm going to make exactly the same line underneath it, about 1/2 inch to 1 inch underneath, and then join them up, and that makes a rectangle. Now just before the ends of the rectangle, I'm going to draw the size of the flower pot. Now don't forget that the flower pot base is smaller than the top. Bottoms of the flower pots are always smaller than the tops. So I'm going to make a line that is smaller. I'm just going to put these little dots in because it helps me to guide, to know where I'm going. So I'm going to go from that slightly in to make that line. If I was using a ruler, you can see that it goes that way. It's not straight down, it's just going in a little bit. Let me use that ruler and you can see a nice straight line. And then I'm going to join those two up, and there we have a really nice flower pot. Let's draw the seedlings. So I'm going to have, well, don't forget that the seedlings are they haven't got flowers on, they're only just baby plants. They haven't grown into what they're going to be yet. They're just a stem, nice and straight, bendy, and just go up next to it so that it's something to fill in, to colour in. And then I'm going to draw a leaf one side, underneath the other side, maybe some baby leaves there. Then I can do the vein. There. I think that looks a little bit lonely, so don't forget we can put more than one seedling in a pot. So I'm going to do another one. This one's a little bit taller. Try and follow that all the way down, and then a pair of leaves at the top. You can do more than just these leaves if you wanted. Sure seedling, you do what you think. Okay. Two little seedlings in a flower pot. Now what I want you to do is photograph this. Take a photo. Or get somebody else to take a photo of it. Get it all in the window, straight overhead, and photograph. And photograph it before you do anything else. Okay? And then you can send it to me like that, because I want to start our woodlands in black and white, and then for it to burst into colour later on. So now the next part of the project, after you've photographed your seedling drawing, I want you to design the flower pot and colour it all in for me. And I want you to do this with the NHS in mind. I think we're going to thank the NHS, because we've been doing that a lot, haven't we? We're going to thank the NHS by just dedicating these flowers, these plants to them. Okay, I'm just going to speed up the film here while I
make my design and colour it in. As you can see, I am thinking of the NHS, and I've made a heart that sort of symbolises love, as we all know, and I've coloured it in the NHS colour blue. And I've drawn some stripes, and I'm going to colour them in the colours of the rainbow, starting off with red here, because that has become a symbol of support for people wanting to show how much they appreciate and are thankful for our carers and the NHS. Because, as we know, they sometimes put themselves at risk by looking after us, and they do such a fabulous job. I believe the rainbow became a symbol. I think it was a nurse who started it at the very beginning of coronavirus. She wanted to create a sign of hope for patients and staff all over the country, and she came up with the idea of the rainbow. And it is such a lovely symbol. It's a happy symbol, and it is a hopeful symbol, and I think it shows our love and thanks to all of our carers in such a lovely way. So I'm just finishing off the colours of my rainbow: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple and indigo. I'm going to colour my seedlings in next. I'm going to do them in green, but you can do them in whatever colour you would like. So think about your design before you start. We're keeping the carers and the NHS in mind, and we want to show our appreciation and our thanks. And you might want to do hearts, or rainbows, or other things that you can think of that would show how much you appreciate them, or you might want to draw a picture of your carer. I don't know, but we will put them all together, plant them in our woodland, and everybody will see how much we appreciate them. And that's it. So can you please photograph it now? Just in exactly the same way that you did the black and white seedling and flower pot overhead, or ask somebody else to photograph it for you and send them to me. So you will be sending the black and white one and then your fully designed and colourful flower pot and seedling. Thank you very much for watching. I really look forward to seeing your work and also to talk to you next week, and look forward to sending you your next project. So bye bye for now. See you next time.